A compendium of the Bible, the study of Second Chronicles. The theme, Judah's greatness. Date of writing, 5th century BC. The background. Second Chronicles began in the original with the Hebrew connective wa, indicating that it is a continuation of the historical narrative for First and Second Chronicles. They formed one book in the Old Hebrew Bible. Text of the Old Testament, Second Chronicles records several reformations, including the most extended account of any revival in Bible history. That was under Hezekiah in chapter 29 and chapter 31. The outline of the book is two parts, two divisions. The first division, the reign of Solomon, with a detailed account of the building and dedication of the temple. Chapter 1, verse 1 through chapter 9, verse 31. Solomon blessed by God, chapter 1, verse 1 through 17. Preparation for building the temple, chapter 2, verse 1 through 18. Building of the temple, chapter 3, verse 1 through chapter 4, verse 22. The ark brought in, chapter 5, verse 1 through 14. Dedication of the temple by Solomon, chapter 6, verse 1 through 42. Divine support, chapter 7, verse 1 through 22. Solomon's accomplishments, chapter 8, verse 1 through chapter 9, verse 28. The death of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 29 through 31. The second division, the history of Judah from the reign of Rehoboam to the destruction of Jerusalem and the captivity, found in chapter 10, verse 1 through chapter 36, verse 23. The reign of Rehoboam, chapter 10, verse 1 through chapter 12, verse 16. The reign of Abijah, chapter 13, verse 1 through chapter 14, verse 1. The reign of Asaph, chapter 14, verse 2 through chapter 16, verse 14. The reign of Jehoshaphat, chapter 17, verse 1 through chapter 21, verse 1. The reign of Jehoram, chapter 21, verse 1 through chapter 22. The reign of Azariah, chapter 22, verse 1 through 12. The reign of Josiah, chapter 23, verse 1 through chapter 4, verse 27. The reign of Amaziah, chapter 25, verse 1 through 28. The reign of Uriah, chapter 26, verse 1 through 23. The reign of Jotham, chapter 27, verse 1 through 9. The reign of Ahaz, chapter 28, verse 1 through 27. The reign of Hezekiah, chapter 29, verse 1 through chapter 32, verse 33. The reign of Manasseh, chapter 33, verse 1 through verse 20. The reign of Amon, chapter 33, verse 21 through 25. The reign of Josiah, chapter 34, verse 1 through chapter 35, verse 22. The reign of Jehoshaphat, chapter 36 through verse 1 and 3. The reign of Jehoiakim, chapter 36, verse 4 through 7. The reign of Jehoiachin, the Babylonian captivity, chapter 36, verse 8 through 23. Thus concludes the outline of 2nd Chronicles.